Kickoff, presented by Hyundai.
Deshaun Watson, he's 3-0 in his career against Jacksonville, looking to remain unbeaten against the Jags over in London. But to do that, he'll have to outperform the rookie, Gardner Minshew, who has done an amazing job filling in for Nick Foles, has the Jags looking for their third straight win entering Week 9. Pretty impressive. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Game Day Kickoff. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Steve Smith Sr. and Willie McGinnis.
Hello.
We are almost to kickoff, guys. Get ready. Get caffeinated. All right, everybody, let's look at the playoff picture. We're halfway right now through the regular season. And here it is. The Texans and Jags are neck and neck in the AFC. Houston hanging on to that 6th seed. They're both looking up at the Colts, though, in the division. They're the number 2 seed. So, Steve, these two obviously met back in Week 2. It wasn't great for Houston offensively, but 13 points in that win. How does Deshaun and DeAndre get it going early today?
Well, they have to get it going early. And you talk about Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. Well, A.J. Boye is going to be the guy that's man up. But how you get Deshaun going is run the ball. And, yes, I said it as a wide receiver, running the ball effectively, getting Carlos Hyde, getting Duke Johnson going, allowing those guys to get in the passing game. That's what I see going on, and that's what needs to go on for this win that I believe they will take.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue to what I was going to say, because I was going to talk about the running game.
Oh.
And if you, when you look at Deshaun Watson and taking some of the pressure and some of the hits off of him and not throwing the ball 40 times a game, which you want to play from in front, but you also want to control the line of scrimmage. Carlos Hyde is one of those guys you can hand it off to 15 to 25 times a game. Duke Johnson is another guy you can hand it off to, but then you can use him in a lot of different ways that Billy O'Brien can figure out. Put him in a slot, put him in motion, put him out there, find a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a safety, and then use him in space. You've seen this throughout the league, using certain type of running backs to have this ability to find space, get the matchup, and then use them, especially with the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Jones. You can do that. Use your running backs. Turn this into a game. Don't let these pass rushers on the Jacksonville Jaguars just tee off on you.
Right, and then that'll set up the bigger plays downfield with play action and everything else, and that's how they work best. But the Texans, they got to keep this guy in check. Gardner Minshew doing a great job as a rookie, called into action back in Week 1 when Nick Foles hurt his collarbone. He has 13 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions in his first 8 games, the second best ratio in the Super Bowl era behind our guy, Kurt Warner. Yep. And he's just one of 3 quarterbacks, along with Russell and Tom Brady this year, with multiple touchdowns and no interceptions in 4 or more games. For more on Minshew, let's head back out to London, where all the fans are crowded around James Palmer. I think they all came here to see James and his popped collar on his jacket. But James, Foles was obviously...
I don't see anyone, but okay.
They're not all there for you? That's so weird. I don't know.
MJD left, so
obviously,
I'm in the rain.
They brought Foles in to be the guy, but Minshew, he's making things pretty interesting here.
He really is, Colleen, spending some time around the Jaguars here in London the last couple of days. I've spoken to teammates and coaches that have all fallen in love with Gardner Minshew. This team has rallied around their quarterback. No slight to Nick Foles, but this stretch of games, they've really found out what they have in this rookie quarterback. Now, if he goes out and plays well against the Houston Texans, it's going to be very difficult for the Jaguars to go back to Nick Foles. Now, next week, remember, they have a bye. But my understanding is look for an announcement to be made that Monday leading in to their game against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Gardner Minshew faced the Texans back in Week 2 in his first NFL start. He said when he watched the game film of that game this week, he said it was like watching an entirely different quarterback. He thought he's grown that much. And my understanding is when the coaching staff went back and looked at the game film from Week 2, they said his footwork in the pocket had grown exponentially. His vision has been tremendous since that Week 2 game. They think he is growing by leaps and bounds with each and every start he has for the Jaguars.
Wow, and you could just see it on the field. You can see his confidence. You can see his chemistry with his guys. James, Thank you. James and his jacket out there in London, and there, Deshaun Watson on the field. Now, we are told that he was wearing the visor during pregame, but he will not wear it during the game. James Palmer.
Yes.
Yes, the man that you guys just saw, and his jacket.
All
there.
by itself.
Yeah.
Ian would have never gave us that.
So.